Hello YouTube and all YouTubers. This is demondragon45 here with just a quick little review. Last week I saw Toy Story 3 and I loved it. I've grown up with the original. My first movie ever in a theater was the first Toy Story movie, and this one really was great. I loved it. The acting, the effects, everything, and I saw it in 3D too. And I don't know what a lot of people say, but some say it's not really all that great. Some say it's good. I really loved it in 3D because it really gave the characters more, how I should say, life. Mostly just because they've made it so in that way that the characters pop out a little more than the background. So in that way, it just gives it more life, more effect that they are actual, that they are real. And this movie really was probably one of the greatest that I've ever seen, other than the original. And I say that because I always go by nothing beats the original, even though this came really close. Like, this one for a number one spot in all movies I've seen in my life that I thought were great. Those two are just going together. They're really great. The ending, if I really made it so in that way, I believe they won't make another one. It's sad, but it's like we've people more my age, like 16, 17, so on, that grown up with Toy Story, feels like this is a fitting end, that they just shouldn't make any more Toy Stories. Which, even though yes, it does suck, which we really love to see more of them, but the way that this ending was in Toy Story 3, it's fine. We loved it. When there's a triple box set coming out, I'm getting it because that's my childhood. Other than Toonami, but movie-wise, Toy Story was my childhood, and I really loved it. All the movies were worth seeing, even though the second one wasn't really all that great, but it was still good. I mean, like, I'll watch it, but not all the time. Toy Story 1 and 3, though, I'll watch whenever, even if it's in a cycle, because I loved both of them. They were worth my time. They were, since I've grown up with these characters. I mean, like, any teenager that has seen Toy Story when they were like 4, 5, 3 maybe, I don't know. But those who've seen the first one back in the 90s, I mean, wouldn't you actually love to, even though would love to see the Toy Story movie, another Toy Story movie, but notice that with the ending in the third one, if you've seen the third one yet, that it just wraps up all together and just say, well, final goodbye, final movie, and this is a goodbye. So yeah, so there. And the one other thing I actually did like is that the movie can relate to what the audience is, even though it's supposed to be for little kids, but for people my age, we grew up with this, and it's like for us, it's like it plays with the emotions the way that we already know. It's like, this is the final adventure, this is the final goodbye, and all this other emotions, and the ending though is like really sad. If I wasn't surrounded by a whole bunch of people, I would have actually cried. I was that sad because I've grown up with these characters and I really loved the movies. So if anyone that's like teenager age have seen the first movie in theaters when the first one came out, if you saw this movie, please leave your own review and what you thought of it, and whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, and I saw some cameos in the movie. Some of them it took me a second thought. Some I knew right off the bat. I'm not really gonna give them away because in some stuff that they've already released, one of them you can already imagine. Though I'll just say this one: Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro from Hayao Miyazaki. That character was in that, and I was going in my head when I was watching it, just going, "Am I the only one in the theater that actually recognizes it?" And all this other stuff. And it took me a little bit though to find the other cameos, which I'll let everyone else figure out or just say when they go there. One of them it just took me a second to realize. I actually had to go onto a YouTube video to look at it and realize it. And a lot of this stuff is reminiscent to the first movie. You got a lot of the stuff from the first, some from the second. It's like a reminiscence also with this final farewell. If I were to give this a rating out of, let's say 10, it goes on 9.5. The reason why with the other 0.5, the only complaint that I really had about it was because compared to all the other Toy Story movies, and I'm not saying this is a really bad thing, it was like the only little thing that I had about it was really dark. It was really dark for a Toy Story movie, and I've seen the other two before I went to see this one. This, compared to the others, damn. I mean, I was fucking amazed that they did like really dark, but it's not like it doesn't pull you away from the movie. It pulls you closer because it's like this moment of suspense. This one scene more towards the end you get to see is I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was like really dark, and you know how there's always an antagonist, a bad guy in this movie, and this bad guy is like an ass. I mean, like I've seen, and I thought Pete from Toy Story 2 was a jackass, let alone Sid. Fucking, I thought he was retarded. But still, this character was dark as a bad guy, but it's like a likable kind of, because you know his backstory in this later on in the movie, and it's like, what made him like that? I mean, like, it's like it still kind of makes no sense, but it's really good movie. I mean, worth seeing. 3D, brilliant, and also the day and night featurette at the beginning, the short film, really is actually pretty fun with the 2D 3D combination. But anyways, movie 9.5 out of 10. Great everything. A little bit too dark, a little bit darker than the other two, but still made it. If you like this video, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, leave a comment, and I hope to see everyone again. Oh, and check out my Dear Agony video, my first music video I ever made, and some other stuff that I'll be updating in a different video before all sort of stuff. A whole bunch of other stuff happens. And signing off, and goodbye.